What's up, guys? All right, so just finished up with Jitsu. Great class. Just kind of going back over some fundamentals, some basics, the building blocks. And but I wanted to share with you a couple of funny comments I've had on the channel here recently. Now, on one of the videos I did, basically teaching people how to, I don't know if you would say teaching people or trying to inspire people to stop using heroin, which you would think is a no-brainer. Somebody told me to stop telling other people what to do and called me a bald-headed prick. Now, that was interesting. And then another comment, what did they say? Oh, they claimed that because I was using my earbuds, which I do all the time for the microphone effect because there's a lot of, outside noise or whatever. Anyway, they said that I was basically just plagiarizing. I was listening to somebody and repeating what I heard. I'm not really sure how that disproves what I was saying or not. I've had a lot of interesting comments over the years. Most of them positive, but you're always going to get those negative comments. And it's interesting how those negative comments can sometimes stick with you. Now, especially when I was starting out, I felt like I had to respond or whatever. But, when you're doing it for a while, you start to just realize how many different people are out there in the world and how people think so differently. And you don't know the person's background, where they're coming from, their history, their own biology, their neurochemistry, their spirituality. You don't know exactly who they are, and that's the kind of randomness of the internet. And the internet is not like a neighborhood or a community where you actually get to meet people and really understand somebody. And it's not to say that you can't have, a good connection with somebody online, right? But it's not the same as knowing someone. And when you start to realize that, you start to understand that it would be silly, just as silly for me to judge them for their perception of me than for them to judge me based on their perception of me. You see what I'm saying? And I think if we can kind of start to separate ourselves from the criticisms, and we separate ourselves from our own inner demons, and we work on our own lives and strive to become something greater in our life, when you're doing that, you're going to learn to ignore those outside forces. Because those outside forces are only trying to keep you from following your path. I'm talking about those negative forces. Obviously, there's also a lot of outside forces that are in your favor, man. You've got friends and family and these people who are close to you. You've got situations in your life where you can strive for goodness and you can overcome things and that these things work for your good, That's why I think the scripture teaches that God works all things for good for those who love him, right? It's like, that's not saying you get good things, like you worship God and you get something good. No, that's not what it means, right? It means when you're aligning yourself with God's purpose, then the things that come at you that are negative can be turned for good. But, we can't see that always, in our own timeline, with our vision, because you would have to have like an infinite perspective to completely understand ultimate goodness. Wow, that's I don't know, that's too deep for a Jiu-Jitsu diary video. But anyway, just some things I was thinking about. So I guess the point is, guys, you're going to face a lot of hate, a lot of criticism in your life when you're trying to do something. And that's okay. That criticism is not what makes you you, and it is not an adequate or accurate description of you. So live your life, seek out goodness, truth, and beauty. Above all else, love. And man, everything will work out in the end, even when it seems like it's not.